You feel like a victim today?
Definitely. I have never felt so much like a victim in my entire life.
Tonight, a lawsuit claims a Bastrop County man was kicked out of his home and it was sold off by some of the most powerful people in the county. Allegations of fraudulent court records follow.
As that man left without a home is searching for answers. Here's KXAN's investigator Jody Barr.
2 months ago, Frank Vickers says he was roused off his couch by a Bastrop County deputy standing in his living room.
He said, "This property has been sold. You need to vacate these premises immediately," is what you need to do.
Did he say why?
Because this property is sold. This property has a new owner.
No eviction notice, no court papers. Vickers says he had no idea who sent the deputy over. The next day, Vickers knew something was up when he got this voicemail.
This is Bubba Snowden. I'm the county commissioner.
It was Gary, a.k.a. Bubba Snowden, one of the county's top elected officials.
Bringing a sign over today to notify you. So give me a call and talk to me and make it easy on both of us. Thank you.
The sign told Vickers to stay off the property. Vickers has rented this house from a friend for 20 years, but the sign listed a new owner, Tracy Ortiz, Commissioner Bubba Snowden's daughter.
These people have so much power. I felt like I had to leave. I was being intimidated and forced out of my home.
Was there a court order telling you to leave?
No, there wasn't. I left out of an abundance of caution and because I was intimidated by law enforcement and county officials. And I didn't know any better. I didn't know any different.
Jody Dunn's office, may I help you?
Yes.
We spent the next several days with Vickers,
Ms. Snowden,
calling everyone involved.
this is Frank Vickers.
Let's call the tax assessor and find out who owns this property. Just calling to see if this property been sold at a tax sale. And going door to door to every county office that deals with property sales.
I'm the renter there. I just want to make sure that everything's cleared.
There were no records to be found. Then, the very next day after we checked, a sheriff's deed turned up at the courthouse. It showed a county constable auctioned Vickers' home off for $20,000. So Vickers and his landlord hired Austin real estate attorney Bill Gammon to figure it all out. If you're in Frank Vickers' shoes, what do you do?
Run.
Gammon found Vickers' landlord owed a contractor $6,000 for work in another county unrelated to his home. But it led to a judgment that a Bastrop County constable used to seize, then sell the house. There was a problem, though. The house is also listed as the landlord's homestead. Texas law says it cannot be seized or auctioned off. And even if Bastrop County was able to sell it, they have to notify the owner with this document, known as a writ of execution. But our investigation uncovered a major discrepancy with the dates on the document. Bastrop County claims it got the document in February, more than 2 months before it was even created in April. Gammon showed the document to a judge who called it fraudulent.
If you read it on its face, it's fraudulent.
A ruling Vickers would need.
Hello, sir. I'm just out here to check my mail.
To reclaim his home. It's been 3 months since he could even go on the property.
I think that the person who allegedly bought the property had inside connections that she is using in order to be able to gain unfair advantage and game the system. This is the very thing that we left England to get away from.
Vickers had one final shot at answers when he went straight to the seat of power, Commissioner Bubba Snowden.
I'm Frank Vickers. I was just going to ask you about that sign I have out there in front of my house at 418 Taylor Road. Over there.
After that conversation, Vickers didn't get any of the answers he went to find. We tried to talk to Commissioner Snowden at that meeting too, but he said he'd only talk off camera, which is what he did the next day with us for an hour in his office. During that meeting, Snowden and his attorney changed their story several times, leaving us with no clear answer about the case. But a lawsuit filed by Frank Vickers and his landlord a few weeks ago could provide some clarification. Snowden's daughter, Tracy Ortiz, replied to that lawsuit, saying she denies each allegation made in that lawsuit.
And what is the lawsuit seeking?
Well, what they're looking for right now is $100,000 in damages plus attorney's fees. Now, they also want all records for the home out of the commissioner's daughter's name. Now, she told me by phone they didn't do anything illegal
and that she is the rightful owner.
Well, was Frank Vickers ever legally evicted?
No, he was not, and we know that because the Justice of the Peace told us they never even issued an eviction notice for him.
All right, Jody, thank you. We know you keep us updated on this story. And this all started with a viewer tip. If you have something that you think we should investigate, email us at reportit@kxan.com.